The rolling 360 is a skill that I get asked about quite a lot, and it looks like you just skate forward, do a spin and carry on skating, but it's actually a little bit more complex, so let's talk about it now. If I was to actually do a spin when I'm skating, it's okay when I'm going quite slow, but if I was to do that at speed, at some point in that spin, I'm going to end up with a foot against my direction of travel, which, as you know, never ends well. So actually what you have to do is a turn from forwards to backwards and backwards to forwards. So I actually had a request, and that's what inspired this whole video. There is a Instagrammer called Kids Roll Power, and they have some amazing smooth rhythm moves on there. And they've done a little video about a forward to backward and a backwards to forwards turn. And somebody asked me, Katie, how are they doing this? So I thought that I would break it down to show you. So I am going to take my toe stops out to do this one. Now, if you're not ready to take your toe stops out, don't feel that you can't do this move. I'm just doing it so you can see much clearer what I'm doing. But if you want to leave them in, you absolutely can. It's always really hard to line it up. Skatie takes 3 hours to change toe plug. That is what we're going to be learning. So this actually feels a little bit like a grapevine. So if you're not quite up to a toe-toe manual, this is a great start of the grapevine. Basically what we're doing here is an open book turn. Open book turn, there, there. What we're going to do is go into it on the heel, here. Swap feet, and then this one goes on to the heel. So let me do that at speed for you. I'm here, here, here. You can do the usual flick that we have on the toe, like that of our open book turn. Or if you'd rather, you can do it on the heel. So your heel is already up. So it depends whichever you feel the most comfortable with. Here, here, there. So that is the first bit that you need to get unlocked. Now we're going to move on to part 2, the turning from backwards to forwards. So we've done our turn here and we're in this position. So you put this flat and you put this into a toe manual. Now, this turn is a little bit tricky, so let's take it to the chairs. Here we are at the chairs. So my right foot has just finished and it's in the heel manual. I'm going to put that down. I'm going to go toe manual on this foot. Now what's going to happen here is I am going to do a turn, and basically I'm going to turn on this heel like this. But I know you're panicking. It's okay, because we've got this foot to help us, so it's okay. So this toe manual foot is going to be our stabilizer, because this turn is quite tricky. We're going to lean on this foot. We're going to lean on the outside of this foot to get an outside edge to take us like that. So this foot's going to do kind of this V shape. And this one is also going to do the same thing. So we're here. This foot is going to do the same thing. So it's going to do that. So you've got this V. I am here, I'm going to go to there, and I'm going to turn this way like that. So you can't make the turn with this right foot until you are close here. Because as always, you have to have that weight in the right place. You have to wait until the feet are both underneath you before you execute the turn. So here, outside edge, come together and turn. This turn from backwards to forwards is basically travelings or a pivot turn. So don't feel bad if this is something that you're struggling with. This toe manual here is going to help, but it is a very hard turn and it will take you a little bit of time to just understand the weight. And I do have a video on pivots if you need a little bit more help with getting that turn there. Once you're ready, we can start linking the two together. So I'm going to do my open book turn with the heel, foot down, toe up, turn. And now this goes straight in to the next open book turn. It's really, really nice and a very smooth move once you get used to it. Oh, but you do get quite dizzy.
This is just a slow-mo of me doing the move round and round in a circle so you can see it multiple times. Now I do have hard wheels on, which makes this right foot here slip a little bit easier, so I don't have to lift my foot very much. But if you've got a soft wheel on and you're outside, you'll probably need to lift that foot a little bit more. Now, obviously, the whole idea of this video is it's a rolling 360, so this is how I would use it. I'm just going to roll forwards, do the move once, and then keep rolling. Obviously, once you get this up to speed, I'm doing it nice and fast here. You do lose a bit of the technicality, so I'm just showing you this in slow motion so you can see that it's not perhaps technically perfect when you get it up to speed, but it doesn't matter.
This is another option and it's a little bit easier than the last one. It's basically C turns. So the open book turn is a C turn, and from there we're going to use a C turn to step forward. So let me show you. So we're here, open book turn, lift the heel, turn the toe, and then I'm going to do another C turn here. So let me do that one more time to show you what I'm doing. Open book turn, and then I'm going to open this. So I'm essentially doing an open book turn, but in the opposite direction. When you do this and you're turning from backwards to forwards, let me show you. So here's my open book turn. So now I'm going to turn from backwards to forwards. I'm going to open here and I'm going to lift the toe on that foot. I do have an entire video on these C turns. And what this is, an open C turn inside to inside. And this is an open C turn inside to inside. And the only difference is one is backwards to forwards and one is forwards to backwards. So once you get this up to speed, it does look like a 360 turn, but do take your time because you can get your feet quite muddled up if you try and go too fast before you're ready. So I'm here and then I'm going to turn.
Let's watch for those manuals. So there's a manual there on the way in as a guide wheel, and then that's another manual at the end, and I'm going to step forward onto the left foot, and that right foot is going to do a heel manual there. Now, I don't start the move again until my feet are back together. It's really important. That'll really help with your balance. Obviously, this is the whole idea is that we're doing rolling 360s, so I'm going to show you it just skating forwards, do the move once, and skate forward again. Once this gets up to speed, it can get a little bit sloppy, so I'm just showing you me doing it here fast. And just a version of it, slow-mo, fast, so you can see it's perhaps not as technically correct, but I'm still standing, so I'm happy.
The last one I have shown in a manuals video before, and we did it like this. So it was here, here. So it's not technically a 360 turn, but you can do it in a 360, but it's a little bit more complex because you have to change your stagger foot. So I'll show you exactly what I mean. I'm going to always do this turn in a stagger. And when I go from forwards to backwards, I'm going to be on my toes. Here. And then when I go from backwards to forwards, I need to be on my heels. But to do that, I've got to swap my stagger to do my heels. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm here, toes, swap stagger, heels, toes, swap, heels, toes. So do you see how each time I turn, I'm sliding the foot that was at the back to the front and vice versa. This is another one which you need to build up to get it smooth so it looks like you're doing a 360. So take your time with this and make sure you're really swapping those staggers in between.
Watch these stagger changes. So here that right foot's changing, you see, and then I'm going to turn, heel, heel, and then that left foot's coming forward and I'm going to turn toe, toe. Watch with the stagger change. There it is. That right foot's gone back. And then the left foot's coming forwards. So again, this is how to do it in a rolling 360. Once it gets up to speed, it becomes more of a fluid motion with the stagger change. And if you look closely, I think I'm actually doing almost like a slight jump. So both skates are coming up off the ground. And this happens when you do things like this at speed.
A good fourth option would be the barrel roll, and I will link the video for that one because it's quite a complex skill in itself. I'm Katie, you've been watching Skatie, and I'll see you next time. Bye!